Time for the results of the most recent Dave Koller's America, which I presented yesterday, December 18th. So I'm going to get right to the answers real quick. The man accused of wrapping his head in duct tape and robbing a liquor store, that occurred in Catlettsburg, Kentucky. The man charged with having bomb-making materials and child pornography and also committing lewd acts against minors, that was in Bluffton, South Carolina. And the pilot who landed his private plane on the golf course so he could get his 14-year-old son to a tennis lesson in time, that occurred in Lincolnshire, Illinois. Many people wrote in with these correct answers, and many people had the correct reasoning, being that in Kentucky, of course, idiotic people are going to rob liquor stores in the stupidest way. That, of course, some rich asshole is going to land his plane in some rich, wealthy area like Lincolnshire, Illinois. And of course, these violent terrorist child molesters are all in the South, like Bluffton, South Carolina. So the winner was Rico of Everett, Washington. And thank you to everybody else who got it right. Before I go, I want to share a little research that I did on these stories. They all happened, by the way, 2 years ago. We used to do this Dave Koller's America on the show, so I would keep these USA Todays around. But we don't do it anymore, so they've been backlogging in a folder, and now I'm banging them out one at a time for the top vlog. This one was from 2008. So this guy in Kentucky wrapped his entire head except for his eyes and his mouth with duct tape, walked into a liquor store, threatened the cashier, said he had a knife, and demanded that she turn over the money. She did. He ran out, and an employee from the liquor store ran out behind him and tackled him in the parking lot. Turns out he didn't have a knife, and even more idiotic, it turns out all he got from this heist was $15. And for that, he was sentenced to 10 years in jail. So obviously, this is the worst, stupidest decision this guy's ever made in his life. It seems like 10 years in prison for robbing a liquor store without a weapon may be too much, but on the other hand, you can't go into places and threaten people. That's really terrible. So he kind of deserves it. On the other hand, I think there's probably something wrong with him mentally, so there might be some leniency in line for this guy, I hope. I'm not sure about that sentence. The guy in Illinois, I did some research on that one. He was sentenced to 60 hours of community service, 18 hours of court supervision, and a $500 fine. I think that's almost just about as good as perfect and just and proper and correct a sentence as you can get. I would have upped the fine a little, probably to $1,000. I don't want to stick it to him completely. Even though he's a rich asshole, we don't have a society where when you do something wrong, you just get all the money taken from you. So 500 is a little low, though, for all the trouble he caused. Otherwise, 60 hours community service and 18 months court supervision and a fine, which I would have put at $1,000 or $1,500. I think that's pretty good. He didn't hurt anyone. And the South Carolina man, I didn't get any information on what kind of sentencing he got, but he should probably be in jail for the rest of his life. I mean, he was a babysitter for 2 6-year-old girls, and he committed sexual acts with them. On top of that, he was making bombs in his van. So I don't know who's more of an idiot, this guy or the people who left their 6-year-old daughters with him for babysitting. But that wraps up these 3 stories. Thanks for watching, participating, and playing Dave Koller's America. Merry Christmas.
See